Every single day, our knowledge of the past grows, and thanks to research and excavations, we're always making spectacular new discoveries. It's not uncommon for an object to be found which reveals some new detail of information about thousands of years into the past. It's especially exciting when something is found and it proves to be the oldest thing of its kind on the planet. So, buckle up, because we're going to show you 5 incredible objects from ancient times that are still around today. Let's go! Number 5. The oldest shoe. The oldest shoe in the world was discovered in Armenia by a team of international archaeologists in 2010 in a cave system known as Arini 1. The shoe's age was approximated at about 5,500 years old, which is much older than the previously discovered footwear that had been found on a frozen mummy, Utsi. Several discoveries ranging from the Neolithic to the late Middle Ages had already been made in this massive cave system, and in the chamber in which the shoe was ultimately found, there were also stores of preserved fruits and grains. The shoe was made of a single piece of cowhide, clearly adjusted to the wearer's foot by cords. At 24.5 centimeters long and 10 centimeters wide, the shoe approximately corresponds with the current European size of 37. It's still not entirely clear whether these shoes belong to a man or a woman. Prior to this discovery, the oldest footwear that had been found had been a pair of 7,500-year-old sandals made of plant materials in Missouri. But by proper definition, those aren't exactly shoes. Moving on to number 4, the oldest figure of man. The so-called Venus of Hohlefels is the oldest existing figure of a human being. She is about 6 centimeters tall, made of ivory from a mammoth, and was discovered in the Hohlefels Karst cave in September 2008. Based on the layer of earth that it was found in, the figurine could be dated to an approximate age of between 35 to 40,000 years old, making it nearly equal in age to the previous oldest representation of the human body, the Venus of Galgenberg. Some striking aspects of the figurine are the oversized breasts and the accentuated area of the genitals. Director of Research Nicholas Connard sees this as being a deliberate exaggeration of the figurine's sexual characteristics. Nowadays, this could be considered pornographic, but in older times, this could have probably functioned as some kind of talisman, perhaps as good luck during pregnancy, for example. This is indicated by the signs of suspension found on the figure. However, the exact function and significance of the figurine are still widely debated. Next, number 3, the oldest prosthetic in the world. According to a discovery made in 2007, ancient Egyptians may have invented the prosthetic 700 years before Romans did. Due to the wooden composition of the prosthetic, it could have been used as a replacement for the big toe to help support when walking. Despite being found on the foot of a mummy in Egypt, some researchers still have doubts surrounding its actual function. There's a small chance that it was not a prosthetic at all, but rather a gift for the grave. Using a replica, a British researcher is attempting to prove that this was not a religious object. There were some additional traces of both wood and leather discovered, which suggests that whatever it was worn permanently. Previously, it had been assumed that the oldest prosthetic in the world was the Roman Capua leg, which had been made of bronze in approximately 300 BC. The Egyptian toe is believed to have been created sometime between 1000 and 6000 BC. Keep going to number 2, the oldest musical instrument. In a wild stroke of success, the oldest musical instrument in the world was discovered by the same team of researchers who had already landed the finding of the aforementioned Venus of Hohlefels. The flute, made out of bird bones, is likely over 35,000 years old and has approximate origins back to the Ice Age. Discovered in the Hohlefels cave about 20 kilometers from the bone flute was splintered into 12 pieces on the bottom of the so-called Aurignacian layer. This is the oldest discovery of the modern human to correspond with European culture. Over the course of the excavations, several flutes had been discovered, which suggests that music might have been part of the daily lives of people. However, the flute is still the only fully composed musical instrument to have been discovered in the Swabian cave system. Finally, number 1, the oldest condom. The oldest condoms in the world are exhibited in London, and they're over 300 years old. Made by hand and composed of animal intestines, these condoms were probably pretty expensive. Likely these contraceptive devices were made for multiple use too, and had to be softened for up to 24 hours in warm milk before they could be used. So you better have marked it up on your calendar ahead of time. Used in the 17th and 18th centuries, the condoms were provided with a drawstring, and they weren't necessarily meant for preventing pregnancies, but rather to protect important men from the contraction of certain sexually transmitted diseases. Researchers are a bit surprised by the durability of these condoms considering how low strength they were. Anyway, if you like this video, write something in the comments or subscribe. And if you want to check out another one, click on it. That's it for me today. Until next time, bye bye.